This is a tutorial on how you can resize your animation in TVPaint using the Keyframer tool in the effects stack. So let's say you've got an animation layer that you want to resize. So I'm just going to call it Anim1 and now make a duplicate of it by doing, or a duplicate structure. I'm not going to duplicate the layer because I want a blank layer. So duplicate structure will make a blank layer on top of it, but it's got the same structure, the same number of frames, same exposures. So just to make this clear, I'm going to change the color on this, and I'll rename it to Anim2. So this is the layer, this new blank layer is where we're going to render the size change using the Keyframer tool. I'm going to leave the original on so I can see it and have it for reference. But on the new layer, make sure this is off. This little, these two little things here. This is auto break instance and auto create frame, which are very useful for certain things, but not in this case. So make sure these are off. Now go to the effects stack, add effects, motion, keyframer. Now in the keyframer, there's two tabs. You have position and source. So the first one we're going to go to is source, and we're going to change the source. Go to layer list, and I'm going to change my source to Anim1. So that's going to be using this layer underneath as the source. Now go to position, and you've got the main ones that you're going to use without going into a long tutorial about the keyframer. Just X, Y, and Z here at the top. And so these will move the character either side to side with X, or up or down with Y, and the Z coordinates will make the character larger or smaller depending which way you move them. All right, so you wanted to make this larger, I believe, so I'm going to enlarge him a little bit and then recompose it by moving him down slightly. Oh yeah, so that's the other thing. You can also just grab this handle and you can move the character around. So you kind of move it, sort of use these sliders up here to position it precisely, but if you don't need to be so precise, you can just grab this and move it around until it looks like where you want it. So now I've got that rescaled and repositioned. So you just have to select all the layer or all the frames on the new layer. So a couple of ways to do that. You could go to the image menu at the very top here and select all images. You see how it selected them all. You can also right click and hit select all from the menu. If you have your first image selected and then you use the keyboard shortcut Control A or Command A on the Mac, that will select all the remaining images. So those are different ways you can select all. You can also manually select all by just take your mouse cursor or your pen cursor and just click and drag underneath. So you're not clicking and dragging directly on the frames, on the instances. You're clicking and dragging on the numbers underneath, and that selects them. And you can do that in either direction. So you've got all of them selected. Now you've made your adjustments, and you're going to apply the effect stack. Now that's applied it and rendered it on this new layer. So you can turn the old layer off, but keep it. I mean, you can just leave it hidden. So if you ever need to go back later and re-render, you've still got your original animation unaltered, and you can just repeat this process to make a new, resize or reposition. So then this is your new animation that's been scaled up. The other thing I can show you on that, let me undo backwards, is in addition to resizing it or rescaling it, you can use this setting here, bank angle, to change the angle on the character. So for instance, if you wanted this to look like the character was running uphill, at an incline, you could change it to that, and then render it. And now it looks like he's running uphill. And you could put like a pan background moving behind him, moving across, and it's going to look like he's running uphill. So those are all the different changes. You just look at the user manual, look up some tutorials about the keyframer. You can do a lot more with it, but this is just sort of the basics, of resizing or repositioning using the Keyframer tool.